Hi there, Malcolm here with my 204th Booktube video, and today I'll be bringing you my review of my book of the month for October, The Three by Sarah Lotz. Now, quite near the beginning of the year I read Day 4, which was the sequel / partner to The Three, which was essentially a ghost story set on a becalmed cruise ship. And the story was told through a number of the occupants of the ship, and each day it would cycle through all the characters in the same order as the story unfolded. Now, near the end of the book, the characters land on the shore of Miami to find everybody's dead, buildings are burning. We're in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, effectively. Something happened while on the ship, and it was never really explained what. And so I was very eager to get my hands on The Three to just find out what these events might have been that we missed out on Day 4. And so The Three follows 4 simultaneous plane crashes around the world, completely apparently unrelated, and in the case of at least 3 of them there is a sole survivor, a otherwise unscathed child. You can just about see them in the red stripes there, and there are questions about whether or not there was a survivor of the 4th crash. The story is told from the viewpoint of a journalist after the events, as they are collating various correspondence and accounts from and between various people who were affected or impacted by the 4 crashes. Now, first response, family members of the surviving children, as well as those who end up looking after these 3. So it's more of a scrapbook full of newspaper cuttings and, like I said, dialogue and accounts. And I suppose the trigger warning really is the plane crashes themselves, as we have 4 very different plane crashes, 4 very different series of accounts and fallout from them. In each case there is significant loss of life, obviously from those on the planes, but also from those on the ground where the planes landed in some cases, and it does make for some pretty grim and depressing reading. Finally, we do get through that, and I think it does go on a bit too long perhaps, and we then have the continuation of the story as these 3 surviving children then found new homes to go to, or existing homes, depending on whether or not they were travelling alone or not, according to their travelling arrangements. And then it becomes very clear to the people looking after these children that there's something not quite right about them. They can't quite put their finger on it exactly. Not evil necessarily, there's no things that go bump in the night around them or all of that weird ghost story type stuff, but they are different to the children that they knew before. I won't go any further than that because of spoilers. I found it quite an intriguing read. There are hallmarks of foreshadowing as well, where they're talking about a certain character and so, oh, we never knew they were capable of doing such a thing. So we know something's going to happen, something involving the children, who are, I should mention, are individually spaced around the planet. And there's one in China somewhere, there's one in England, and there's one in America somewhere. And there's possibly a 4th one in Africa as well. But as the story unfolds around each child, certain individuals around them are referred to as having performed some atrocity. It's not really made clear what exactly. Things are eventually revealed, and then finally we get the punchline, which is the only real nod to the events in Day 4. So I went into this hoping to find some answers about Day 4. I didn't really get those, or not the answers I was expecting or hoping for. I'm disappointed, but it was certainly very unexpected just what is going on in the world of The Three and Day 4. But a very interesting direction. I was quite happy not to have seen coming, really. You get a bit tired when things become too predictable. It's a much thicker book than Day 4. It took me a lot longer to read. And like I said, I think getting through the initial plane crash stuff was a bit heavy going. But I think I had issues with Day 4 as well, with certain character choices or certain content that was upsetting purely for this case of being upsetting rather than any plot related rationale. I don't think it really matters which order you read the 2 books in. I obviously read it Day 4, The Three, and having read that way, as I've said, having read Day 4, I wanted to know what was going on a bit more, so I needed to read The Three. Whereas if you read The Three, I wouldn't imagine there's a great hunkering to need to read Day 4 unless you really enjoyed this world and wanted to see what else is going on there and to further some of the ideas presented. So yeah, have you read The Three? Have you read Day 4? Have you read them both? Which one did you prefer? Which one did you hate? Answers down below. As usual, if you have nothing else to say, then please keep it to yourself. Thank you, and until next time, see you later.